Welcome to the University of Maryland School of Public Policy Commencement Exercise for 2017. I'm Robert Orr, the Dean of the School of Public Policy, and it is my great honor to welcome you all here today. Before we begin, could I ask that everyone in the audience arise to help us observe a moment of silence. This moment of silence is in honor of Lieutenant Richard W. Collins III, a Bowie State student who was to graduate tomorrow, but whose life was tragically cut short in a senseless act of violence on this campus early Saturday morning. Our hearts go out to Lieutenant Collins' family and friends and the entire Bowie State community. This moment calls for deep reflection on who we are as a UMD community and what we, individually and collectively, can do to uphold our highest values and to ensure that the University of Maryland will be a safe, inclusive, and respectful home for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Today is a celebration of our amazing students. It is also a celebration of their amazing families who have brought them this far. It is also a celebration of public service. There is no higher calling, nor no more noble endeavor. We are very excited about the challenges and the opportunities and the success we know that lie ahead for our graduates. You will, graduates, quite literally change the world for the better. No pressure or anything. This is not to say that it will come easy. You enter a world and a field of public policy quite different from the one that you entered when you first walked through our doors. The world is on fire in many ways. There are more refugees in the world today than there has been at any time since World War II. Nationalism is an increasing force in global politics, and populism has come to power in various countries with devastating consequences. Here in this country, we are suffering through a period of radical doubt about our institutions, our leaders, even our values. Inequality is at historic highs and growing. Race, always a powerful force in American society, is wielded in 2017 as a weapon against those perceived to be different. Brown and Black lives matter, but not enough. We are polarized as never before. And words like bipartisan and even cooperation are being used by some as an epithet. Civic virtue sounds quaint and is overmatched by forces seemingly in the ascendancy. If this sounds a bit sobering and an ominous litany, it is. But against this, we have many people, especially evident in this room, who do not accept this reality, who expect better. We have public servants, bridge builders, ethical and humble people, innovators, bold thinkers, collaborators, and believers who see the world as it can and should be, and who are working relentlessly toward that better world. It is true that professors learn from their students. We are also inspired by you. Your determination, your faith in the future and each other, and your immense capacity to change the world for the better has inspired us, has inspired me. to believe in the prospect of a brighter future. That, my friends, is power. And for that, I thank you deeply. This past year has seen the launch of the University of Maryland as the country's first do-good campus. And you here in this school have been the driving force. You are the epitome of students who not only do well, but do good. And you have done so in our neighborhood, in Prince George's County, in the great state of Maryland, in Washington, D.C., and in the world. And not a one of you is waiting to make a difference. You have been doing so, and I know you will continue to do so. As your dean, I truly could not be prouder. At the same time, I'm humbled by the leadership you have demonstrated in these very challenging times. Graduates, all this pomp and circumstance today is for you. You have earned this, but it is also for your families. They too have worked hard and sacrificed much to see this day. Please stand and give your loved ones a round of applause. Families, loved ones, that was no pro forma round of applause. You are deeply appreciated, and we appreciate you being here today to share this day with us. Finally, before we proceed with this ceremony, let me make one more observation. Yesterday, at the campus-wide ceremony, there was a group of Golden Terps from the class of 1967. Yes, 1967. President Lowe described how the world was on fire in 1967. And many a Golden Terps head nodded in agreement as President Lowe described the upheaval of that era. And yet they persevered and were with us yesterday. I want to take you graduates on a little thought experiment. Policymaking and life is often about taking the long view. Envision what the world can and should look like 50 years from now when you return to campus as Golden Policy Terps in 2067. I had to check my math on that because I thought it had to be wrong. That sounds like someone else's life. Think long-term throughout your career, but continue to act in the now. We need you to be the drivers of change. And from everything we've seen, I am very confident you will be.